Welcome to my channel. Back with another movie recap. This is a horror, mystery, and thriller genre movie and it has 7.8 IMDb rating. The name of the movie is Get Out and release year is 2017. The movie has won 152 awards from different film festivals including Oscar in 2018 for Best Original Screenplay. The film is story of a young black American who spends his weekend with his white girlfriend's family for the first time. After a series of strange events he decided to leave there but it was too late. To find out more about the film story, bear with me until the end. I hope you enjoy watching my recap. And as quick reminder, this video contains spoilers. Chris Washington, a black photographer living in Brooklyn, New York, is getting ready to spend a relaxing weekend in northern part of New York with his white lover, Rose Armitage, and her family. Fearing her family's reaction, he inquires Rose if everybody is aware of their racially diverse connection. Black maid Georgina and landscaper Walter act strangely, while Rose's brother Jeremy and their parents, a neurological surgeon and a hypnotherapist, say some disturbing things about black people. Missy, Rose's mom, forces Chris to undergo hypnosis the night they arrive in an attempt to break his habit of cigarette smoking. In his sleep-like state, he admits that he holds himself guilty for the passing of his mom since he delayed a long time to seek for aid after she collapsed and died whilst he was a youngster. A nothingness that Missy refers to as the Sunken Place is where he goes next. When he wakes up, he thinks he must have had an awful nightmare, but Walter confirms that they did really meet the night prior. He is relieved to learn, however, that the hypnotherapy was effective. He no more craves cigarettes. Rich white people go to the Armitage's yearly party, where they gush over Chris's body and that of black celebrities like Tiger Woods. An elderly art collector named Jim Hudson who has lost his sight is more interested in Chris photographs than in his racing. Chris encounters Logan King, a fellow black man who acts oddly and is engaged to a more elderly white woman than he is. Chris tells his buddy, TSA agent Rod Williams, about it. When Chris's flashlight turns off, he photographs Logan stealthily, but Logan turns crazy, yelling at Chris to get out and seemingly trying for attacking him. Logan has an epileptic fit, according to Dean, who orders his restraint by the group. Outside of the festivities, Chris suggests to Rose they ought to go. Meanwhile, the guests play a sham game of bingo with Chris as the prize, and Jim places the highest bid. Rod identifies Logan as missing Brooklynite Andre Hayworth, aka Logan. Rod tries to report his suspicions of a plot to the authorities, but his statements are disregarded. Though Rose claims Chris is the only black man she has ever been with, Chris discovers images of her with numerous other black buddies, such as Walter and Georgina, in her room when she prepares to depart. When he attempts to flee, Rose and her family shut the door behind him. Missy utilizes the trigger she put in Chris throughout the hypnotherapy session to render him unconscious after he strikes Jeremy. Tied to a seat in the cellar, Chris comes to. Rose's grandpa Roman reveals the family's practice of brain transplantation in a presentation on video, saying that it allows recipients to gain desirable physical traits as well as a perverse type of longevity. The host's mind is still alive but helpless in the sunken place. The camera then cuts to Jim and Chris chatting over an intercom. Jim claims that he is not concerned regarding Chris' race, he simply desires his eyesight, despite the Armitage's stated preference for black victims. It appears that Chris has been knocked unconscious by hypnosis performed by Missy. Chris prevented the hypnosis trigger by putting cotton from the seat into his ears before Jeremy came to get him for the operation. As Dean, Rose's dad, prepares to execute the procedure to replace Jim's body with Chris, Chris uses a bocce ball to knock out Jeremy. Chris accidentally strikes Dean with the horns of a deer mount, which causes Dean to trip over the lit candle and starts a blaze in the surgical suite, where Jim lies unconscious. Chris is ambushed by Missy in the kitchenette, he stabs and murders her. On his way out, he is accosted by Jeremy. Chris murders Jeremy and takes his car. Georgina, who is later shown to be inhabited by Rose's grandma Marianne, is knocked senseless by a blow he delivers to her on the way out. His sorrow over his mother's murder compels him to try to transport her in a vehicle with him, but she rises and assaults him on the way. An altercation ensues, and Georgina gets killed when the automobile smashes. Chris is captured by an equipped Rose and Roman's controlled Walter. Chris utilizes the cell phone's flashlight to temporarily incapacitate Roman, enabling Walter to reclaim his own body. After firing himself, Walter grabs Rose's gun and fires her in the stomach. Chris tries to murder Rose by strangling her, but he can't seem to pull the trigger. Rose yells for assistance as police sirens draw near. However, it turns out that Rod is the one behind the wheel, and he and Chris speed off, leaving Rose for dead on the side of the road. That was recap of Get Out. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the recap, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to not miss videos like this.